Hey, good morning. We're going to start with Chinny. Chinny boy came home this morning after being out for 2 days. Okay, but I have something on my mind I want to talk about. Okay, I'll do it here. My garlic is growing. I'm going to plant it outside with the onions. So, anyway, I just want to talk a bit about being careful out there. Okay, I had a couple of things happen this week that I want to share. Okay, so the other evening, I always lock my screen door, but I had gone out to feed the cats and locked the screen door when I came, but I left the door open because it's fresh air and it was hot. And came to the kitchen and I was cooking. I was making my steak, and it smelled delicious because it's like onion and garlic and steak. And I heard somebody outside my door, and I turned around, and there were two guys standing there. And I was like startled because it was startling. Okay, and I went over, and they had lanyards and ID around their neck, and they're selling something. I don't know what they're selling. They're selling windows or solar or something. Okay. So I went over and I was like, "Hey guys, how you doing?" And they were like, "Oh my God, it smells so good. What are you cooking?" I said, "I'm cooking dinner." I said, "Can I help you?" And he's like, "Well, what do you," and I stop him. "What are you selling?" "I don't want anything. I don't want," "Well, we're not selling anything." "Yes, you are." "I don't want anything. I want to wish you a good evening and thank you very much." And I close the door. Okay, so this can happen anywhere, anytime. I had another experience a few years ago that I had to call 911 for because a gentleman was on my deck. Now, this is a back deck. It's not in the front, it's in the back. You can't just come here, okay? You have to make an effort to come here. And saw the guy, saw his car. He was an older gentleman, but he was a big guy, like over 6 feet, okay? And it was very sketchy. He rattled my doorknob. He tried to get in. And I was on the phone with my neighbor across the street, and he just said, "Just call 911." So I did. The cops came. That was interesting. It was like good cop, bad cop. One cop was very understanding. The other cop was like a son of a bitch. Okay. So it turns out the guy had dementia, and his daughter lives down the street, and he came to my place by mistake because he thought he was at his daughter's house. Okay. So, but I didn't know that when it happened. And his daughter did come. She apologized. And I was like, you have to take his car keys away. This is not right. "What am I going to do? I don't know." I said, "Do you have siblings? Do you have an aunt and an uncle, brothers and sisters? You have to take your father off the road. I mean, he's lost. He doesn't know where he's going." So anyway, that was another story. Now, yesterday, I was at work. Hello, pansies. Hello, garlic. Yesterday, I was at work, And I want to tell you that I've owned retail businesses. I've done this, been there, done that. I love my job. I love my job. I like it because the people are great. I have a lot of fun. I make extra money, blah, blah. Okay. So this woman comes in the store, and I was immediately alert, okay, by her appearance. She was, I'm going to say, in her early 60s. She was dressed nicely. She had very, very long black hair. All right, this was a Caucasian woman. She had very black hair, like it was dyed black. And she had a braid, a long braid that went down to her butt. Okay. She had very distinct makeup on with heavy black eyeliner and red lips. She was dressed nicely, and she came in and she approached me, and she's like, there's a man that works here that I spoke to before. And I'm like, yes. She goes, does he own the store? And I said, why do you ask? Well, I want to know if he owns the store. Is he the landlord? And I said, why do you ask? I said, if you'd like to leave him a message, I'm happy to take your name and phone number, and I'll pass it along. She wouldn't give me her name and phone number. And then she goes into this spiel about, well, I can't even get into it because it was so convoluted and ridiculous. I'm moving, and I have all this stuff in my car, and I can't fly because of medical. And I was like, you know what? Cut to the chase. What do you want? I don't want to hear your story. Just tell me what do you want? Like, what is your question? So it boiled down to she was asking to park her vehicle in our parking lot so she could sell her crap out of her vehicle in our parking lot. So I said, he's not the landlord. He's not authorized to do that. So that's a big no. And I was like, no, you can't do that. No. And then she's like, well, what do I do with my stuff? I said, that's not my problem. That's your problem. Go on Facebook. Oh, I don't do social media. Okay. You don't do social media? The library is down the street. They have a reference room and a resource room. They will help you. Go to them with your questions. Go on Facebook. You need to go to a flea market and sell your stuff. I can't help you. Now, I want you to know there was another woman in the store the whole time, and she heard everything. She was astounded. So, how did it end? I told her, you have to leave. You have to leave. We can't help you, and you have to leave. So she left, and this woman that was in the store, my customer, she was like, oh my God. She's like, you handled that very well. Yeah, because I don't take any shit from anybody, okay? And right when she left, another woman came in. So I'm like, oh, is this like a tag team, Gypsies? My first impression when I saw this woman, this is like a gypsy scam. They're coming in here to scam me. They're gypsies, whatever. So I just want everybody to be very careful, very alert, very aware, okay? My coworker's son is a deputy sheriff in the county, so we are going to follow up on this woman and make sure it's taken care of. So just be careful out there. Tell everybody you know to be careful out there. It's a public service announcement. Okay? Have a great day. Oh, I'm up to 10 minutes. Have a great day. I'm staying home today. It's going to be very warm, about 90, and I'm chilling out and cooking. Have a great day. Be careful. Bye. Bye bye.